What is going on, everyone? It's your guy, Cole Jackson, back here on Road Graders, and we are going to be continuing our draft deep dives today with Josh Conerly Jr., brought to you today by One Bone. Whenever we're talking offensive linemen here during draft season, that's brought to you by One Bone. They are your go-to for all thing big heavies. One Bone makes clothes for everybody with their unique sizes ranging from -3 to 8, which is your traditional small, to 8XL. So whether you're playing on the gridiron, hitting the gym, or need clothes that simply fit into your everyday life, One Bone has something for you. Click the link down below. Use promo code ColeJackson15 for 15% off any order. Looking at their best sellers, they have everything from t-shirts to polos to jackets and vests to ensure every need is met. And as you can see, they were big sponsors of O-Line Masterminds. They love the big boys. Guys like Creed Humphrey, guys like Lane Johnson out there wearing One Bone. Go check them out at the link down below. We are going to be diving into Josh Conerly Jr., a guy that won Best O-Line for the Senior Bowl, really stood out, has phenomenal tape. Really excited to jump into him. When we take a look at his measurements, I think this is a really big piece for him because he looked a little undersized on tape. He was only 6'4" in all of his measurements, and everybody was looking at that arm length measurement. We know how much that gets discussed when we're talking about offensive tackles in the 2025 or in any NFL draft process. You know, I'm not a big arm length guy, but this is big because he checks the box with 34-inch arms, comes in at 6'4", 313. When looking at his advanced stats, you can see here in his PFF profile, all of his snaps in the last 2 years have been starting at left tackle for the Oregon Ducks. And you can see there pressure numbers really shrinking down. 9 pressures allowed on the year with only 2 sacks allowed over the last 2 years, which is about 1,700 pass snaps. So this is a guy with tremendous upside. And it's going to be really interesting because, is he a day one left tackle? I think you're going to see there's definitely some deficiencies in his game, especially with how he deals with power. But this is a guy, if the Baltimore Ravens do not bring back Ronnie Stanley, picking at 27, Josh Conerly might be in their range, might go way earlier. We'll have to see, but could very well be in their range. And when we take a look at the strengths and weaknesses before we jump into the film itself, strengths, fluid and athletic. This is your ultimate zone blocking, pass protecting left tackle. He kind of fits the archetype as like a glove, and with that comes struggles with power rushers and guys that convert speed to power, the guys that will struggle with the TJ Watts and the Myles Garretts initially until they kind of are able to develop that. I also saw a lack of movement and drive block opportunities, so very much your traditional left tackle prospect, a guy that's going to have to get stronger, get his functional strength up. Very similar. I wouldn't say this is a player comparison, but similar in terms of strengths and weaknesses as Roger Rosengarten. And we saw how that came along throughout the year as a Baltimore Ravens fan. So without further ado, without more of me talking, let's get into the tape. Josh Conerly Jr.'s pass set. So what we are going to be looking for on the strength side is really his range and his foot speed, and that's what you're going to see on tape. So we're going to focus quite a bit on this Ohio State game. Obviously, the level of defense Ohio State had led them to a national championship, but also the edge group. They have Jack Sawyer right there on your right side, number 33, and JT Tumaloa, 2 guys that are expected to be drafted in the first couple of rounds, so obviously battle tested in this matchup. So we're just going to take a look starting at his foot speed, his quickness, that sort of thing, because I think this is the real strength and really what should get people excited about being a left tackle at the next level. So let's jump right into it. Should get my screen brush up. So here we're going to run through the clip, and you can see what I mean. He's just got those quick, natural feet. Something that this is really hard to teach, and something that I want you guys to focus on because it does hurt him at certain spots. But you're going to see this left foot when he gets into his set. He is a quick tapper, and when I say that, it means he's not taking long vertical steps in his vert set. He wants to get out and take those quick steps, what you'd normally see from a guard, and so you can see it right there. So he's going to take about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps before he even hits his punch. And it's just a style of set when he goes on a 45 here. But, sometimes you'll see longer kick steps. And this just really stood out because that's really his style of play. This is a rep against UCLA. You can see it right there. See how many steps he takes? 1, 2, 3, 4. But what that does is it gives him really good reaction skills, and we're going to see a rep here later where he picks up a stunt off of it, but it can hurt him in terms of redirecting when he gets attacked on his inside hand, that sort of thing. And so that's what I think he's going to have to answer at the next level. So you're going to see right there the quickness and the confidence in his set. So you're going to see we're starting against a 4-point stance here, lined up as a 5 technique, and right there he's going to pop out. And you can see he's patient with his step this time. And that's because he's, approaching a base defender rather than being up in the 2-point stance. So as he gets up there, you see those hands shoot, and then he's able to lock in. And that's really his quickness and his ability to have comfort in that vertical set. That is his greatest strength at the next level. He's just so consistent. You can see right there, nice recovery. You're going to see the power issue there a little bit as 97, gears him up here, and you can see him get knocked back, but then he recovers and gets his feet back under him. But you can see again that foot quickness right there. Getting out there, he stays so square, so tight in his stance. Right there, that butt's always dropped. He's always got really good pod level. Just an athletic pass protector. Should translate extremely well to the next level, especially if he's in a offense that's asking for a ton of 5-man protections, which, from the Ravens' perspective, that is something that will be asked of him. Here, I think we see him slide down and take on someone inside. And there you can see how he can use his quickness to his advantage. So he's going to slide in and take down this 3 technique in pass pro, and you see him slide in effortlessly. This is obviously a play action play. They're going to keep their tight end in to block the edge. And you can see right there, create that leverage. Pad level gets a little high here, but then he sinks in right there, and he's able to sink those hips. So very fluid hips, good pad level, stays engaged, and moves like a small forward in the NBA playing defense. You can see right there. He's going to lock him as he tries to attack him back inside. He's just able to use those feet and continue to mirror throughout. Some of the best foot quickness in the game. Here we get a 5-man protection. He's going to have to move out, and he's going to get attacked. And then this is exactly what I'm talking about. So, very vulnerable here against stunts. Obviously, they're trying to create a numbers game. You're going to get 44 knifing, and he's going to pass that off, and then look at him be able to pick that up. So many guys have issues with this because they're used to having longer strides, and that's where that foot quickness comes into play. So you see right there, he's going to take 2 steps before he recognizes 1, 2, 44 comes inside, right? So there's that foot flattening out, that post step in front starting to drop back. He's going to come across. As he does, he sees that that's coming. He's in a very compromising position right here. Those shoulders are turned. The feet are behind. We want our feet to be on this plane. Right now they're on that plane. Watch how quickly he transitions right there. And then we got our feet back, and he's going to get right down into that locked position. So some guys just can't move like this. He's like the anti-Daniel Falele in terms of hip mobility. So that's really encouraging. And you can see right there, he's got a supreme ability to run the arc. It's going to be really hard to beat him around the edge at the next level. Here we get a couple more reps against UCLA, and there's that quick set. And this is something that I didn't see a ton of, but he projects extremely well. If you guys watched any of my breakdowns on Roger Rosengarten, I get excited about this. So he's going to take that step out and then attack. And this is really what I think the next aspect of his game is, especially at the NFL level, to mix in his sets, because he has that foot quickness and those recovery skills. Paired with a power deficiency, right? That's what we talked about so much with Roger Rosengarten. So if he can get out there hands-on early, he can control the rep, like you see right there. So that's something that I think should be in his repertoire at the next level. You see it again there, hands-on quick. And you see, even if someone tries to bend his edge, he's got those recovery skills and the quickness. He just washes them out the back of the pocket. So that, to me, is the next step. See right here, he's gonna. This will happen a little bit where he gets out and he just misses his hands. He's got a little shorter on the arm length, not short, but a little shorter. But you see right here, try and get a better view. The right hand of Tumaloa. You can see it kind of going up right there, and he swats down. There's a good view. So you can see that right hand SWAT goes down on that hand, pushes it down, and opens that gate. And this is where I think we can use a little bit better independent hand usage. I think that's something that's going to come along to go with the power, right? And so right here, this is going to be where he is going to make or break it at left tackle at the next level. So he gets out, he squares. You see he's going to get a chip from the tight end, so he's going to take that chip. Tumaloa gets chipped, and he just has a little bit more runway to deal with than what we've seen on some of these past reps. So a little bit more runway here, and he's got to absorb that contact, and he walks back, keeps good position, but you can see he's right back in Gabriel's lap. And so that is just your typical athletic pass protector that has to adapt to the next level of taking on those power rush moves. You see right there again, not necessarily bad here. Ball comes out pretty quick, but you can see him going into basically, recovery mode and starting to wash out the back of the pocket. So his ability to add some strength, we'll see a rep here against Jack Sawyer. He's going to get chipped by 88, come out wide, and then you see him come in and take that contact and, open in that inside hand, right? So, obviously that's picking up a pretty big runway, a little bit of an extreme example here, but it's a good example of what he's going to have to be ready for at the next level. A couple of reps from the Senior Bowl. We're going to see a similar issue where he's going against, I believe this is Princely Anamea from Ole Miss. And so the sack's going to come from the inside here, but he's going to get beat on this rep. You can see right there, he just gets beat with the hezzy step. So he gets a little too, he tries to protect that inside hand right here. You can see it right, watch his right foot, that inside foot steps back inside. And then again, independent hand usage. Princely's hand goes down here, pushes that hand down, opens that inside. So you can see from Princely, 2 moves win this rep for him. 1 pushes down with his inside hand. That left hand's going to push down right there. And then as he opens the gate, he's going to use that left hand again and rip up right there. So that's what gets him around the corner and gets him to the quarterback. He comes in, cleans up that sack. So that's something I noticed. I think he's got to get more consistent with independent hands when he's not doing a 2-hand punch. Just one of those things that's going to come. Couple reps from the Senior Bowl. Really good anchoring here against that power. Really solid, so he can do it. We've seen it on some reps, but it's just inconsistent. Here you're going to see him, that inside hand of his get attacked right there. And so as he gets attacked inside here, you can see that foot right here, that inside foot dropping back. We're giving up that inside rush lane, so that's not good. It's interesting because his peers named him top O-lineman, and some of these reps weren't great, but it really just shows how you can't overreact to one rep. Really solid one here, really showing his athleticism. You can't overreact to one rep, and clear as day with the Mike Green rep, obviously, right? So he's going to basically get his face ran through, and he's playing right tackle. He's never played right tackle here. His footwork are all mixed up. Obviously it's not a great rep. We don't want to see that, but you can't overreact one way or the other to a play like that. Like, the coach told Mike Green to go out there and run through his face, and he did, but there's plenty where Josh Conerly was able to anchor and have an impact. And again, that's why he was named the top O lineman for the national team at the Senior Bowl. Now we get into some of his run blocking opportunities. Really reminds me of early Ronnie Stanley in terms of his blocking style. He's not a drive blocker. He's not going to be a power guy, but he's super athletic and really understands his limitations. So here we're going to get an inside zone run. And so you're going to see right here, he's going to work Tumaloa upfield, and you see right there, seal him out the back and create that rush lane, right? It's all about creating rush lanes when we're zone blocking. And I've seen this so many times where, he's not, you're going to see it again here. He's going to basically seal this this inside shoulder and work him upfield and create that rush lane between the left guard and the left tackle and the B gap here, right there. See him work him upfield, seal him out, create that rush lane. Really good fit for a zone blocking scheme. See it again here. See him. You can really see him load up. Watch him load up this right hand. He's going to load up and swat inside right there and create that leverage. Drive block through. So he doesn't have those drive block skills in terms of moving bodies, but he understands his limitations, and you can see him. He does this so consistently on these zone runs where he just wants to create that run, and that's obviously Oregon adapted to this. This is actually a trap block. You're gonna get a down block here from the left guard and the pull by the center, and he's just got to clear out that lane, right? But he's so solid at doing it. So really like his projection as a zone blocker at the next level. See him get into the second level here. Really athletic, and you can kind of see his footwork again translating from his pass protection. You see him get out there to drive, work into that second level. Here you're going to see him on the toss. Again, Ronnie Stanley, how many times did he do this on a Derek Henry run this year? See him work the corner, get out there, basically drive himself into two guys. So really solid work there. As a finesse blocker, I think there's a good projection here. He's definitely a tackle. Just needs to get better. You see him right there on the combo block. Again, good creation of leverage. He's going to bang down, work that deuce block, and then get into the second level defender right there, create a little bit of a seam. Just need to see him finish blocks a little bit more consistently. And here you can see the power deficiency, right? So he's going to end up drive blocking here. He's going to cross his face, and we just want to see him be able to drive through that shoulder here and not be able to give that up, because you can see he gets in and makes that tackle. So as a drive blocker, not a great fit. You can see right here, he's just doing a kick out block, but you can see he's not able to get too much movement. He just doesn't have the functional strength. You're going to see it again here. He's aligned right here. You're just going to get a down block opportunity, and you can see him get pushed back there. Gets in for the touchdown, so not a big deal, but that's his overall weakness, right? Is his power deficiency, and it's kind of on display in some of these gap blocks that we see from Oregon. Let's go over and wrap it up. Wasn't on mute. That'd be great. There it is, folks. I think the projection here with Josh Conerly is really clear based on his film. This is your pass protecting left tackle, best fit in his own scheme. Very, very similar skill set to Roger Rosengarten from last year. I think Conerly's a higher level athlete. I think he's got a higher ceiling, and that's why he's going to be looking at a first round pick. But it reminds me of that type of player. And so in year one, you're going to have to live with some lumps, right? He's going to have to get those reps, get that experience, and get a year in an NFL weight room, just like Roger Rosengarten. And you really saw how he stacked that up, to really develop as the season went. So that's what I'm seeing from Josh Conerly. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. Hit subscribe if you're new here. And thank you to One Bone for sponsoring this O-line breakdown.